Next, we're going to talk about the component arrangement principle in workplace design, frequency of use. For every transaction, the user has to put in their card in order to access the ATM. So this is the most frequent aspect of the ATM that's used, the most frequent component. And then after the card is inserted, the user has to use the keypad in order to adjust which type of transaction they would like to use. So being the two most frequently used components, they're placed front and center on the ATM. Next, we're going to talk about the component arrangement principle in workplace design, importance of use. For every transaction, the most important component is the keypad, as it's what's used to control what type of transaction you have to use. So since it's the most important, it's placed in the most convenient location, right front and center in the ATM.
To make a withdrawal, the user first inserts their card, then puts in their code and transaction information. Next, the money will come out, and they will receive a receipt if they requested one. The keypad is right below the card inserter, and the cash comes out right below the keypad. The receipt will then come out to the left of the keypad, which places all the sequence components next to each other.
Okay. Next, we're going to talk about the component arrangement principle of workplace design, of the functional grouping principle. So the card inserter and the keypad have a similar function because you have to insert your card and then operate the transaction via the keypad. So they're placed right next to each other for easy access, as they're a functional group. Next, we're going to talk about the component arrangement principle of workplace design of consistency. So as you can see, this PNC ATM is very similar to the ATM we're going to look at next, which is the TCF Bank ATM.
Next, we're going to talk about the 13 display design principles. The first one we're going to talk about is legibility, and we're going to talk about the keypad. Here we can see the keys have very large numbers and very clear to read letters that have a good contrast between the background and the actual color of the keys so that any user could possibly read it. Display design principle we're going to talk about is discriminability. Also on the keypad, you can see the different colors we have for each of these three. So enter, clear, and cancel. Enter has green, clear has yellow, and cancel has red. So you can tell the difference between the three. Okay, the final design display principle we're going to talk about is multiple resources. So as you can see on the screen, it tells you to insert your card first, and it also has a flashing light, so you have two different visual cues to tell you where to put your card and what you should do first. Also, here you can see that you can add or insert headphones for speech mode, so you don't have to look at the screen. So for anyone that's visually impaired, they can also use that. There's also Braille located here and on the on the keypad, so that those people can also have the audio or sensory and audio.